But what about, I'm not going to go in a situation of like the introducing the rules to it, but I know when I first got into like, because television is where I started, and I was nervous about like doing my reports within 30 seconds, which is
Right.
what you have to do on TV. Radio, you can kind of
Right.
keep going with it. But obviously, with the new pitch clock, it was different. When you heard
Mhm.
about the pitch clock, because I know sometimes you want to tell the beautiful stories, what were your first thoughts about trying to like have a conversation with the audience or tell stories when these new rules were being implemented?
Well, my first reaction when the pitch clock was announced as reality a couple of years ago was thank goodness, because this game
Really?
was in trouble.
Okay.
I mean, I had people who work in the management of various teams remark along the way in the years leading up to the pitch clock that this product right now is not great
Mm,
because it had just gotten out of hand. The games were becoming far too long, and it's not because the length of the game was 3 hours and 30 minutes
mhm,
or whatever it was. It was because there was too much downtime when literally nothing was happening. So we shaved off about 25 minutes first couple of years of the pitch clock from what the average time of the game was. And all that we eliminated was literally nothing.
mm,
Nothing was happening during those moments that extended the length of the game. So I was not at all intimidated by the pitch clock. I was curious to see how it would work. That's what spring training was for. And yeah, it was an adjustment. And I think that the first month or two of the 2023 season, the first year of the pitch clock, we all had to learn to edit ourselves a little bit
mm.
more, to curtail stories at times, to refrain from a certain story if you knew it was going to be a little more involved, or dare I say, long winded than it should have been. But just as the players are the best in the world at what they do, and they
Yeah,
adjusted, those of us who work at the jobs we have, we're pretty good at what we do too, because we've got the ability to adjust, and we all have. And I think the games and the broadcasts are better for it.
I agree. You said the quote game was in trouble. Was that
Mhm.
something that was in on your mind for a while?
Yeah,
Mhm.
because you feel it in the booth and you see it on the field,
Mm,
because we're still dealing with way too many walks and strikeouts and time going by without the ball being in play. That's still an issue, and it's just the way the game has evolved, and hopefully we can get away from that. But you would see players in the field just kind of milling around within a few feet of where they should be between pitches, because the pitchers were taking so long, hitters were stepping out, pitchers were stepping off. It was a very hard thing to describe if your goal is to keep a certain rhythm and tempo. It
mm.
killed the rhythm and tempo
Yeah.
for a broadcaster. That's over with now.
Mhm.
And I think the game's in much better shape now than it was even 3 years ago.